What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Hall of Nerds podcast. I am your host. I'm not a host. Wait, let me start. What's up, guys, and welcome back to a new episode of the Hall of Nerds podcast. But this is a very special episode. It's the Hall of Nerds Awards. Ba, 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 ba. We will be ranking our top favorite comics, creators, artists, writers, etc. You'll get to learn all the best stuff of 2024 via the Hall of Nerds. Well, two of them. Everybody else,
Yep.
bombs.
And that's Brandon and I'm Nate.
Oh yeah.
Forgot that part, but it's all good.
You know it.
Hey, I don't know. Maybe we still getting new I can't speak. New viewers still, hopefully.
Yes. Thank you.
We
Thank
showed
you all
off the
to
drip, though?
our yeah. I just got this yesterday.
I just got this 2 days ago. Check out the bag.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, everybody. Ooh.
Yep. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everybody. And welcome back to the Hall of Nerds podcast. Like Brandon said, we're doing all types of 2024 goodness, starting off with our top 10 comic
top 10
books
comics
of the year.
That's how you want to do this. You want to do just each do our 10 separately,
we'll
or
just
go back and forth?
We'll just
10,
alternate.
10, 9, 9.
We'll just alternate. Like you go 10, I'll go 10, 9, 9, 9, 8, 8, 7, 7.
Sweet.
Boom.
Yeah.
What is your 10th favorite comic book of 2024?
In number 10, I have Batman Superman World's Finest by Mark Waid and various artists. And the only reason it is number 10 is because of the artist switches. It just, if Dan Morris stayed on it all the way through, I think it would be top 5. But it moved down just because I do like the new guy, the Blue Beetle guy, Adrian Gutierrez.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah. He's great. I think it's just the switching has put it down a little bit. Great series. Loving it. The Eclipse art was a little short, but overall, loving World's Finest. Nate?
I'm with you on that. I'd say World's Finest, I'll just go ahead and spoil a little bit. Did miss out on my list, surprisingly, because it was I think it might have been my book of the year last year. At least it was top. It was top 3. It was top 3. I know. I don't know, but it was top 3. And just the only reason I didn't have it in it this year is because I tried to keep mine a little bit more to books that came out this year, started this year, or started like super late last year. But the Kingdom Come arc was still this year, huh?
I think it ended near the beginning of this year, yeah.
Because I mean, that alone that's one of the best arcs in recent DC Comics, in my opinion. That was
phenomenal.
Amazing. Yeah. But yes, coming in at number 10 for me, your boy, we got Grommets. Grommets is my number 10 book. Rick Remender, Brian Posehn, might be pronouncing that wrong, but Grommets, amazing book. We've yet to get the finale, but every single the first 6 issues of 7 have come out in 2024. It's a coming of age story about 2 friends just going through life, going through social settings, school, skateboarding, friend groups, all that kind of stuff. It's a great book, and I highly recommend it.
I wish they would extend it to an ongoing. It's just something. It's just one of those things that it's like it feels so real, like I want to read more of it. Yeah. All right, at number 9. Don't hate me for putting it this low, Nate.
I hate you.
I got Transformers.
Hey, I'm not.
It made the top 10. I didn't even read it last year.
Yeah, exactly.
So it made the top 10. I'm loving it. Daniel Warren Johnson is knocking it out the park. Even the switch to what was his name? Jorge Corona, I believe.
Yep.
The switch to his art was really unnoticeable.
Yeah.
It was just as good. The arcs are really great. I like how it links with everything in the Energon universe. It's my second favorite thing in the Energon universe. So phenomenal.
Couldn't agree more, except for that last part, but that's not crazy at all because everything in Energon universe is amazing. Coming in at my number 9. 9th spot, book of the year for number 9, 2024. Avengers Twilight, baby. This was so gas. Chip Zdarsky, Daniel Acuna, Alex Ross covers. Come on now. It's a post-apocalyptic, or not necessarily apocalyptic, but just this dystopian future for the Marvel, and we got an older Captain America. He's trying to get the Avengers back together to fight against a corrupt government. It's really good, and I hope they come back to it. I hope they
still need to read it. I'll pick up the trade. I know it's good. I've heard it's good.
It's so good.
Dang.
Well, number 8.
Number 8, one of the only 2 Marvel books on my top 10. I have Ultimate Spider-Man.
Ooh, that's pretty low.
It is pretty low.
But I respect
but I think it all has to do with the pacing of the Ultimate Universe is the only reason it's low. It feels like it's just kind of slowly building up. Every issue's great. It just feels like it's like I'm getting closer and closer.
I can
Um,
understand where you're. I
but no,
get
I'm
you.
loving Ultimate Spider-Man. I like that they made Peter older, have kids, have MJ. It makes it a lot more interesting and something that main continuity Spider-Man fans have been wanting for a long time. So really enjoying Ultimate Spider-Man.
Very true. Agreed. For me, coming in at number 8, Nate's 8. Nate 8.
Nate 8.
Geiger, baby. Ghost Machine.
Oh,
This guy, trust me, it's gonna be the
look,
same. It's gonna be
I,
the same as Energon Universe. Once you
I
read it,
finally caught
all
up
this
on
stuff, you're gonna be
Energon.
like, oh, I've been missing out. I will say this though. If for anyone else trying to read Ghost Machine as well, Geiger, Red Coat are in the same universe. As far as these are the ongoings, there's a couple other books in the past. Geiger and Red Coat are the two that are in the same universe that are currently ongoing. Junkyard Joe is also from that universe. It's the unnamed universe. And then they also have Rook Exodus, which is its own separate thing. And then they have Hyde Street, which is its own separate thing. And then
And
they
then the
have the
Rockefellers, right?
Family Odyssey universe, which is Rockefellers and Hornsby and Halo. So you don't necessarily have to read every single title. I would recommend you do because they're all amazing. It's tough because Energon Universe is more fledged out, and it's like so there's way more issues of each series and everything like that. But if you like, Ghost Machine stuff is easily on the same level quality wise, if not above it.
Look, I already caught up on two universes for y'all.
No, because
Energon
see, it's
and
just different
and
though.
Something is Killing the Children
Because
universe.
Energon it's yeah, like every single title is Energon universe, but like Ghost Machine is more. It's an imprint. It's like
Yes, sir.
Skybound. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people are get it confused that it's a Ghost Machine universe, but like the Ghost Machine universe that people are thinking of is the unnamed universe, which is Geiger, Redcoat, and Junkyard Joe. But regardless, Geiger by Jeff Johns and Gary Frank, Brad Anderson, amazing. Follows a man who basically things happen to him via explosion. Things happen to the world, and he can basically turn into pure radiation. He's walking across the country. He's on a journey to find a cure. It's an amazing story. Very well written. Art is fantastic. Brad Anderson colors are phenomenal.
Cook.
Geiger.
RAR. XD. Um, at number 7, my second Marvel book, I have The Ultimates. It also started out a little slow, but it's starting to pick up these last couple issues. They have been phenomenal. I think the one where they fight the Hulk
Yeah,
is probably one of my favorite Marvel issues I've ever read.
agreed.
It was phenomenal. Loving the series, loving the team and the lineup they're going for, and how they're introducing new characters to the universe, and taking some liberties with different characters, like Hulk being a villain, and um, She-Hulk, the island she's from, and her like heritage and stuff being different. I think that's really really cool. So, and Hawkeye, dude, Hawkeye is dope.
Yeah. No, I
Um,
mean, I couldn't agree more.
so
That book
Ultimates is
is
number
coming
7.
coming up in my list soon, but not quite yet. At number 7, I don't have the physical books. I thought they were in my stack. Well, I do have them. They're just not in the stack. It's cheating. I'm cheating. I'm putting 3 books in one spot. Absolute Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman are my number 7 spot. I would put them. They could maybe be higher, but it's just there's only 2 or 3 depending on like what book it is and when you're talking about for 2024. There's only like 2-3 issues of each out so far, so it's hard to justify it against the books I have it up above it, that are full-fledged 10 plus issue runs so far. But that being said, Absolute Universe so far has been absolutely fantastic. Absolute Batman shook up the comic book game. Wonder Woman, Superman followed up absolutely flawlessly. If I gotta rank them, I'm personally gonna do Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, but they're all amazing. They're all 10 out of 10s, and I think it felt wrong to not have them on this list, so I had to loop them in somewhere. So that's my number 7 spot.
That's her. Sweet. I'm also going to do that later on because I love the absolute titles. But for now, number 6, I got Superman. I think
Ooh.
we've had a solid Superman run last year. I think you had it your
It
number
was
one last
it was
year.
my book of the year, or it was top
Yeah,
3.
and it's just continued to be great. Joshua Williamson, when especially with like all the different crossover titles we've had, like the last year with Beast World and Absolute Power, it felt like Superman stayed consistent through all of it, even in Action Comics. So, and the art has been phenomenal, moving from like Clayton Henry, Rafa Sandoval, and now on to Dan Mora. These last two issues have been some of the best stuff I've read all year.
Oh, I get it.
So,
Yeah, 100%.
Superman has just been consistently great, and that's why it's number 6.
Can't blame you. It's easily one of my favorite ongoings. Always, every month it comes out. It's one of the first books I read on that week. It didn't make my list just because the way I was prefacing it was, just having to start this year or late last year, so I didn't include it. But it's 100% one of my favorite ongoings and a great pick. But for me, coming in at number 6 is your number 7, Ultimates. Same reasons
Heck
as
yeah.
Brandon said. It's an amazing book, super well written. The art is fantastic, and the twists and turns they take on our characters that we love, it's just so cool. Like you said, Hulk being bad and he's a freaking Iron Fist. Like, what's going on here? Such a well written story. I can't wait for more of it. Just the overall premise of the book is just so cool. The Maker's coming back in X amount of time. They got X amount of time to figure it out, to recruit more people, to stop him. I can't wait. The Ultimate Universe in general is amazing. Ultimates is my number 6 book.
Yes, yes, yes. I was gonna say something, but I forgot. Well, it was something to do with Ultimates. But at number 5, I'm going to do my Absolute Universe. Oh, I was gonna say Dennis Camp. I'm excited for Martian
Ooh,
Manhunter
yes.
because of how good the Ultimates is.
Very.
Absolute Martian Manhunter.
Quick,
That's what I was gonna say.
put a pin in it. Did you read Justice League Unlimited 2?
Yes.
Holy balls. Spoiler warning for anyone. We're not going to talk about really comics this week, so I just want to say this stuff. Martian Manhunter moment in Justice League Unlimited had me foaming at the mouth, bro. I was like, we need a Martian Manhunter ongoing
Dude,
now.
like if he has an absolute, he needs to have a main
Yeah, like
continuity.
now. We need one
Yeah.
now, bro. I love Martian Manhunter. That was such an awesome moment. He was
I think
freaking
Tom
awesome.
King would write such a good Martian Manhunter. He loves to do like the
That would be
identity thing.
awesome. My like dream DC book right now is Daniel Warren Johnson on it.
Dude, hit
For
art
Martian
and
Manhunter. Art
writing.
and writing, yeah.
That'd be insane.
It would just
All
be
right.
amazing.
Number 5, I've got all 3 absolute titles. I would rank them Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman. Uh, I'm like Nate said, I'm loving it. This new universe, it's a great place to hop on. It's a lot of interesting new takes on these characters while still keeping them like true to who they are in
Yup.
comics. Um, Tweaks to the origins that make them a lot like more compelling to new readers. So, absolute universe, amazing. Everyone should be reading it right now.
Absolutely
Oh,
fantastic.
Flash, Martian Manhunter, and Green Lantern drop in March. So make sure y'all
Coming
pick them out.
soon.
Coming
Yeah.
soon.
Can't wait. My number 5. Top 5. Cracking the top 5 books of 2024 for me is The One Hand and The Six Fingers. Seems like it's cheating again because it is 2 books, but it is really one.
Yeah.
It's 2 books with 2 different creative teams, but it's one cohesive story. The One Hand follows a serial killer, and the story follows a serial killer and a detective, cat and mouse story, pretty much. The One Hand follows the perspective of the detective, and the Six Fingers follows the perspective of the killer. Executed flawlessly. When I read the premise for this book, I was like, whoa, that sounds unbelievably cool. If they can do this right, it's going to be legendary. They 100% did it right. Rom V on One Hand, Dan Waters on Six Fingers. I ate this shit up every single week it was coming out. I felt like I was the detective. I was like, I got to figure it out.
I'm going to pick up the trade. I really need to pick up the trade.
Absolutely fantastic. All year before I really sat down and thought about what my book of the year was going to be, I was thinking it was going to be this. So anyone who says this is their book of the year, I don't blame you whatsoever. It is absolutely fantastic. One Hand, Six Fingers. There is a trade out now. Go get it. Let's go.
It's crazy because every time I read like a book that's written by like 2 people, like if that makes sense, it's always like it feels kind of overcrowded, like the concepts. But if I were to pick some like 2 people to write a book together and know that it's going to be cohesive, it's going to be Rom V and Dan Waters. Like they work so well together.
Ram
Detective
Dan.
Comics.
Ram Dan.
Yeah. Ram Dan.
Ram
Wait,
Dan. Ram and Dan.
Ram and Dan.
Ram Dan.
All right. In my number 4 spot, I've got the GOAT, Green Arrow.
Ooh.
Yes, Green Arrow did
that.
Yeah, this year started with issue 8, so it's only been like 8 to I think we're on issue like what, 20, 19, something like that. So it's only been like 11 or 12 issues, but Joshua Williamson's Green Arrow was phenomenal. I think the annual was one of my favorite annuals all year. I love the art, and then the Chris Condon's first two issues have been pretty good. Green Arrow's suit's a little bit of a miss for me, but I'm loving the story so far, and like the
Agreed.
social activist Green Arrow and how they're bringing him back to his roots. Overall, just loving Green Arrow and how it brings like the Green Arrow family back into it.
Totally. Hell yeah, that's a solid pick. I'm a big fan of Green Arrow as well. Coming in at number 4 for me. I don't know why I don't have it in my stack either, but I saw one over here, so I'm just gonna grab it. We got, of course, Ultimate Spider-Man. I'm not coming in at number 3. I'm at number 4. Ultimate Spider-Man, baby. I would have it a little bit higher, but it couldn't quite crack the top 3. I absolutely adore it, especially after this last issue. Issue 12 was unbelievably fantastic. It's everything like Brandon was saying earlier. It's everything we've ever wanted as Spider-Man fans. Especially as of recent, Peter's finally getting the life he deserves, and it's just flawless. And I cannot wait for more. Always, not Joshua Williamson, him too though, but Jonathan Hickman is absolutely knocking this out of the park. And I realized I learned I've been pronouncing Marco Kiketo's name wrong.
It's Coquetto. It's not Coquetto.
Someone commented on my YouTube video recently and like said he's like they were like, I'm Italian, this is how you pronounce Marco's name, and he said like it was like Kiketo.
Huh. I didn't know
So
that.
if I'm pronouncing that wrong again, I apologize, but you are absolutely fantastic. And yeah, Ultimate
Art's phenomenal,
Spider-Man number
and
4
he will
takes it.
be at Comic-Con,
Yes.
MegCon.
So I'm just
I'm
gonna
getting
ask him
every
there.
single variant.
Is it Chiquetto? Is it Chichetto or is it Kiketo? And then he'll let us know.
You tell me.
And then I will come back and inform you all. I think it's Kiketo, given out based
What
off
if he
of
just hits you with
the.
the? What do you think it is?
And I'll be like, wow, Marco. That's
Polo.
boom, boom, boom. All right, Ultimate
All
Spider-Man
right.
number 4. Boom. Time for
It's
the
time
top
to
3.
crack the top three. All right. My number 3 book of 2024 is Poison Ivy.
Oh, hey, I respect. I haven't read
Yeah,
it.
sleep it. I've
Uh,
been saying it all year. I
I've
said
heard
it
good. I've
all
heard
year
really good things
last
about
year.
it. Yeah.
G. Willow Wilson knocked out the park with a character that you kind of you really wouldn't expect to be able to hold up a solo. Like a lot of villains, it's hard to hold up a solo. Black
Mhm.
Adams was kind of meh. Joker's was kind of meh. But G. Willow Wilson's doing something special with Poison Ivy and like bringing a lot more lore and um like uniqueness to her character, and I think it's so cool, and it's progressively gotten better and better over time. The art's phenomenal. It's really like that trippy, like grotesque art, and works really well with like her powers. So yeah, Poison Ivy is amazing, and you need to catch up.
Respect. I definitely. I mean, I don't even need to catch up. I need to start.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like,
I mean, you're
but
only like 35 issues behind.
I'll get the trades eventually,
Yeah, there's only
one
like
day.
4, I think. Yeah,
But for me, starting off my top 3, third favorite book of 2024, my number 1 Marvel book, my favorite Marvel book of the year. Come on now. Come on now.
we knew it was
Spider
coming.
Boy, Spider Goat. Peter Parker, you have been dethroned for me for 2024.
Make Spider Boy the new Spider-Man.
Spider Boy, I mean, as far as main continuity is concerned, Spider Boy is absolutely mopping Spider Man as far as stories and popularity and all that kind of stuff, main continuity wise. But regardless of any of that, Bailey Briggs Spider Boy, I absolutely love him with all my heart. One of my favorite characters, period. Now he's becoming one of my favorite characters of all time. Dan Slott is absolutely doing an amazing job with the book. I think it's a perfect representation of what comic books are and what they should be and what the medium is and what it can do. It's for all ages. You can be a child and read this book, or you can be fully grown adult and read this and understand things that kids aren't going to understand. Deeper, darker messages and everything like that, and themes that you'll understand, kids won't. But it's so reader friendly for all ages. It's marketed towards kids. There's books. Issue 8 in particular, I think, is one of the best issues that in comic books to come out in recent years, just based off the fact that it's the definition of how the comic book medium should be used. All I thought about when I was reading that issue was I just wished I was a little kid and I didn't care and I could grab my marker and just go ham on all these puzzles and games that they put into the issue. Amazing book. I have nothing but good things to say about Spider-Boy. Dan Slott, thank you for doing this for us. Spider-Boy, top 3. Let's go.
W. Love the love for Spider-Boy there. All right, cracking the top two. You might be surprised that it made it, but it was that good. At number two, I've got Something is Killing the Children.
Ooh,
Look, y'all told me, and I listened, and I read it, and I loved it. And
dude.
I've read all of the House of Slaughter. I've read all Something is Killing the Children. I'm caught up on everything. Even issue zero. It's phenomenal. It's
Yeah,
genuinely. I mean, I knew I was gonna love it. It's James Tinney, and I love everything he writes, but
the
it was
horror
just
icon.
it is probably the best horror comic I've ever read,
Yeah,
and just one of the best indie comics I've ever read in general.
dude,
So
that
that is
makes
my
me
number
so
two.
happy. Let's go.
Yeah, dude, just the art, dude.
Yeah,
Dude, the art is so good. She's
Weather
he
Deladera.
is he or she?
He.
He. Okay, I've never seen a
Yeah,
picture. He's gonna be at MegaCon too.
yeah.
Hi for that.
Weather Deladera. He's doing the Green Lantern Dark.
I know.
And
Yeah,
Tate
yeah.
Bromwell from House of Slaughter. Dude, I
Mm.
love hearing that though. It's so
Dude,
good.
Tate Bromwell's great as well.
It would be in my list too, obviously. It's one of my favorite ongoings. It's just like I said before, had to come out this year or very late last year. But yeah, Something is Killing Children. I'm so glad you finally read it. It's so good, dude.
It's amazing. It's phenomenal.
So you've
How
read
long
House
do
of
we have to
Slaughter,
wait for issue 41?
dude? I don't think it's solicited, unfortunately.
I
But
can't. I can't. I need
I
it
think
now.
I think Tinian has like on record said he has like 50 issues of story. Like, and he said that like 2 years ago, I think. So we should at least be still getting more. But
He probably has the next year already written, and he just
dude,
has to.
yeah, I love that universe. It's so cool. It's so well written. The first, I mean, like 6 or 7 volumes. 7 and 8 is also fantastic too. But the Cutter arc in particular, the like,
Dude, the Cutter arc is gas.
dude,
And
Cutter
I love
is
how
in
House of Slaughter.
Cutter's
It's like
one of
it's
like the craziest villains ever, bro.
dude. I love how House of Slaughter. It's like it's its own thing, but it still like has these like ties to Something's Killing Children. Like it
Yeah.
kind of builds on the universe. Sam Johns build on the different type of masks and like their role, and then
Mhm.
Tate's his builds on like the
The
Butcher
butcher,
story.
yeah.
Dude,
Jace,
that
dude, Jace
Jace,
is him, bro.
he's so dope
I
with like the little
love Jace.
knives.
Yeah, I love
Do you
Jace.
think he's
He's so dope.
alive?
Yeah, yeah.
You think he's alive?
Like,
I think
I
he's
mean, I
alive.
hope. I hope. I
Anyway,
haven't been reading. Are you reading the current House of Slaughter arc? I haven't been
yeah,
reading it.
the
I haven't been.
Azure arc.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got
it's
the first few. Just to be honest, I'm not a fan of the John's arcs for
they're definitely
House of
slower,
Slaughter.
but they're building up to something like big. So I'm still picking it up. Like there's like a
Fair.
monster. Like there's like this. You read the Scarlet arc, right?
I read
With
the
him on the
first one. I didn't
with
read
him
the
on the
second
boat.
one.
Well,
Yeah,
that
with the
like
kid.
monster under the water is like the it's like the dragon. It's like the king of like the monsters, and he's like infiltrated like his body, and he's there's like a double of that kid,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like both in the house, and they just
Interesting.
found out, and that's how like the last issue ended because the blue mask he's the one who discovered that there was two of them in the house, and then the kid bait with no arms,
Yeah,
he's there too, and it's like this whole mystery. It's really good. It's a lot slower than the Tate side of House of Slaughter, but it's building a lot more on the universe
fair.
than that side is.
I think I was just so salty that like when I first read the volume 1 of House of Slaughter and then I went to read volume 2, I was like, wait, where's Jace? I was like, wait,
Yeah, it
where's
jumps back
Aaron? I
and
was like,
forth.
this
Yeah.
is not it, bro. And so I just didn't. I remember I read the first, yeah, this volume 2, but then I haven't read volume 4. I've only read 1, 3, and 5, I guess. Yeah, but
I
yeah,
would I would definitely read it, just especially for that like building onto the universe, because it's
I
building
probably
something.
will eventually,
Yeah,
but
it's gonna build up something bigger happening with Erica and stuff, I feel like.
fair. But hell yes, Something to Kill the Children is freaking gas. Back to the list. My number 2, my second favorite book of 2024, easily could have been number 1. But then the last couple issues of number 1 switched it. Transformers.
Heck yeah.
Come on now. I mean, everything Brandon said about it earlier, I couldn't agree with more. Daniel Warren Johnson, he is my favorite comic book creator of all time, period. So anything he does, I absolutely adore. His books are just so full of heart with these epic grand proportions and settings like Transformers, but the deepest character moments and exactly like I said,
Dude,
full of heart.
Optimus Prime
It's an
is
amazing
just
story. I can't the way I like to really showcase how much I love this book and how great it is before I read this book, I did not care about Transformers at all. I had zero
Same
care
way.
for
That
them
and GI Joe,
whatsoever.
I didn't care.
Exactly, same. I literally didn't care whatsoever. I've still to this day only seen like the first 2 or 3 Transformers movies, the old ones with Shia LaBeouf and stuff. Those are the only ones I've seen. I didn't care to see the new ones. I never watched any shows or anything like that. Transformers just was not for me. I didn't care for it. I love Transformers now.
Dude,
That's what I'm
I
saying.
almost
I
I
love
almost picked up a
Transformers.
Transformer like figure in the store the other
Dude,
day.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I love
I
Transformers
want
now.
them, dude. I wish they would make them like okay. I think it's cool how you have these like, super complex ones that can transform, but low key, I just want some like McFarlane like NECA style Transformers. You know, where
I
they're
think
just the
they're out.
robots.
Yeah, I think they're
Like
out there probably. I
like I
don't know.
really like because they make those transforming ones so complex nowadays. Like, how
Yeah.
do kids even like do that?
I don't know. But no, I'm
I,
with you. That I need some Transformers figures.
and GI Joes, honestly, I want to start getting those too.
Dude, they're sick too. They come with like so many
Yeah.
accessories and
There's a
stuff.
Mezco Snake Eyes. It's
I've
freaking
seen it.
gas,
It's
dude.
so
It's
sick.
gas. But
I have
no,
multiple.
I'm the same way. I wasn't a big Transformers fan, and now I love Transformers, and I'm gonna
Hmm.
start like watching all the movies again.
Exactly. But here we are.
Our number one spot. You're gonna be really surprised at my number one, Nate. I really think you will,
I don't know.
because it's not Marvel and it's not DC.
Wow.
My number one pick
Oh wait, I
for
think I know.
comic series of the year is Void Rivals.
Wow. Let's go. That's what I
It
like to hear.
it honestly, I think Robert Kirkman alone is like one of my favorite. I love like his work on Invincible.
Amazing.
You can feel his writing in Void Rivals. Like it feels so much like him, you know. And dude, just like the enemies turned like I wouldn't even say lovers. It's like just like companions.
Yeah. It's just that classic
Like
Romeo and Juliet story. Yeah.
yeah. And then just like this journey to like the center of the ring, like the inner ring, and like how it connects to Transformers and like the gods of this universe and like the inner John and
Oh, I'm
everything.
so
It's
psyched you said. Yeah.
it's so cool. And the little
Yeah.
backup stories with what's his name?
The
The
Skug
guy,
Sword.
yeah, it's so sad, bro. It's just like, yeah, I'm just going to my family. He gets home, he's like, oh yeah, I
Yeah.
don't have there is no family. Like, why?
Yeah. Dude, Void Rivals is fantastic. It would be way far. It would be on. It's not on my list because, like I
Mm,
said, I gotta say this a bunch of times so people don't flame me. It had to have come out in 2024 to be on my list, or very late 2023.
that's fair. Yeah,
Void Rivals had an entire arc last year, but it was so that's why I didn't put it on my list. But it's still easily my second favorite Energon book behind Transformers. Um, it was my favorite for a while. Transformers and Void Rivals always just do this with my favorite ongoing from
yeah,
Energon. It's so good. I want it. I
it's so
need
good.
it. I need it to be a movie.
Dude, the
It's
new issue I didn't get because
dude.
my comic book store
Oh,
didn't
I was
have
just
it.
gonna say, have you read 15?
No,
Bro,
it's they should have it today if it's open. So I'm reading it
bro.
today. It's
It's
gonna be the first thing
going,
I read.
it's going down, bro. That's all I'm saying. It's about
Oh
to
my
go
God.
down.
I'm so
But
hyped.
Void Rivals is absolutely legendary, and I'm so glad it's your book of the year. It's easily could be my book of the year if I was like doing this in a different way and stuff. But even with that being said, I don't know if I would like it more than this book. My number one favorite book of the year, Speed Sultan's number one pick for the best book, the only book you should be picking up if you're only picking up one. The best book on shelves in 2024
Red Hood the Hill.
was Rook Exodus. Rook Exodus, Jeff Johns, once again, Ghost Machine, Jason Fabok. I mean, come on now. Come on now. This is absolutely fantastic. Brandon's a dumbass because he's never read it. He's absolutely because this is one of the Ghost Machine books. You don't need to read any of the other ones. You can just read
I,
this one
I have like the first
solo.
6 issues too. Like I just haven't read it.
The fuck. Anyway, it's it's unbelievable. It's a world where you can the a company Earth died. They go to a different planet. A company takes over the world where they can basically control everything. They have a world engine. They can control every natural occurrence on the planet. They can control the weather. They have helmets they give to these people called wardens, and they can use the helmets to control specific species of animals and everything like that. So everything natural in the world they can control. Boom, world engine fails. The planet or the big company that owned everything and moved all the humans here and everything bounces. Everyone leaves. They leave the planet. They leave the wardens to deal with everything, and they say we'll come back. They ain't coming back. Rook is one of the wardens we follow. He is the warden of rooks, birds, crows, that kind of stuff. It's a story about whether he should fight to save the planet or if he should fight to leave the planet. It's so unbelievably good. The pacing is on point. Jason Fabok's art is absolutely stunning. I genuinely, I'm confident enough to say that I think it's some of his best work ever, and that's saying a lot with Jason Fabok. So
yeah, his
it's
art's phenomenal.
it's unbelievable. Jeff Johns knocking it out the park. Ghost Machine is amazing. Ghost Machine is genuinely, in my opinion, it's my number one book of the year. I think Ghost Machine is the future of comic books. $3.99 thick books, 32 plus pages for $3.99, cardstock covers. So physically and loan, it's amazing. And then the quality of stories that they've put out are just unbelievable. Every single Ghost Machine book, it could have been in my top 10 of the year. Rook Exodus 2024. Thanks you.
Thanks.
For a great year.
Heck,
boom.
Yeah.
There's
me and Nate's top 10 books of 2024. Dubs. There's some great stuff on there, and there's obviously a lot of stuff we didn't include that was amazing. It was hard for me to narrow down a top 10. So that just means next year is going to be even better. So everyone make sure you're going to a local comic book shop and picking up all the new stuff.
You already know.
That being said, since we're talking about the best comic books, I know you have an MVP character of the year.
Yes, I do.
All around best character in comics this year.
Do you want to go first or should I go first? I'll go first.
Go first. Yeah.
My best character, not necessarily new. We'll do that later. Best character period of 2024. In my opinion, it was kind of hard not to go with them. For me, it's got to be Ultimate Spider-Man. It's got to be Peter Parker from the Ultimate Universe. I mean, like I said earlier, it's everything we ever wanted out of Spider-Man, and he's here. How could he not be? So that's my pick.
It's one of the only Marvel books I'm picking up too. So it's amazing. I love it. For my MVP character, honorable mentions to Optimus Prime. Love Optimus Prime. Erica Slaughter and Superman. But the number one spot, I gotta go Green Arrow. I think
okay.
I think not only has his run been solid, but his role in Absolute Power.
Yeah.
His that little Green Arrow special that just came out. I've liked everything Green Arrow. Joshua Williamson did phenomenal with him. And like
especially with the whole Absolute Power thing.
That's what I think he was MVP character. I mean, he saved everybody.
He did.
Saved everybody.
He did.
So I gotta go Green Arrow.
Shout out Ollie.
Yo, Oliver Queen. You gotta fix that new suit though, dog.
Yeah, Loki.
The cape is not it.
Yeah.
Moving on. Nate just mentioned it. The best new character of the year.
Keeping it on the character train.
Yep, character that was introduced this year. Oh crap! I don't think my character was introduced this year. When did War Journal come out? Oh, it came out in February, didn't it?
Nah, that definitely started last year.
You're right, it did.
Because
you go ahead. You go ahead.
I got mine because it's clear as day. There's no other character that could come close to being the best new character of 2024. It's Toy Soldier, baby. Marvel, Spider-Boy, Toy Soldier. For those that don't know, Toy Soldier is a sentient action figure made from a hand of the Super Adaptoid. So he is literally an action figure who can turn into and have all the powers of all the Avengers. And he's an awesome guy. Wants to do the right thing. Toy Soldier on top. Let's go. Best new character of 2024.
He's just a chill guy.
He is.
All right. So initially I was going to say Shepard from the Green Lantern War Journal run. The new Green Lantern from like the multiverse that was helping them out with the war and everything. Love Shepard. But since it started last year, I'm going to cheat a little bit, and I'm going to say Absolute Batman.
Okay. I really thought about doing him.
Yeah, I think not only just the new backstory is dope, but just dude, the gadgets. It's just so cool.
Yeah.
Like I've never been like reading a comic and like I mean I have, but like in recent to be sitting there and be like, oh my God. And then flip the page and be like, oh my God, this is so cool. Flip the page and like just be so locked into this new character. Absolute Batman is amazing and Scott Snyder is knocking it out the park. Shout out
I'm
Nick
with you.
Stote on the art too.
I really thought about putting Absolute Batman as my MVP or best new character. Because and to preface that it might seem a little confusing. The only reason why I didn't put Ultimate Spider-Man as he's my MVP. I'm not also gonna put him as my best new character because he is a new character to the year.
Mm,
But I looked at it two ways. One, I don't want to have the same person for the two different awards. That's
yeah,
lame. But mainly also because Spider-Man is not a new character. Ultimate
true.
Spider-Man is, but Spider-Man is not. Toy Soldier is 100% a new
Yeah. That's
concept.
why I wanted to do Shepard
So
and then
yeah,
it got me with the last year. But
but no, I feel I mean Absolute Batman. I can't blame you whatsoever. But what's next? What's our
what's
next
next?
category?
Um, while we're talking about comic books, how about we do our greatest writer of the year, our best writer?
Best
Mm,
writer of 2024. You want to start us off?
of course, yeah. I think he killed it on everything he did. He led the biggest event of the year. I gotta go, my boy Mark Wade. Batman
Yeah,
Superman World's Finest, absolute power, um, all of it. It's just
yeah.
been phenomenal.
I can't blame
Um,
you.
Batman and Robin Year One.
Yeah,
Mark Wade has just been killing it, and he's going to be writing an Action Comics arc. Or no, he just finished his
yeah.
Action Comics arc. What am I talking about? And it was really, really good as well. So I got to go Mark Wade.
I can't blame you whatsoever. He was definitely one that I was thinking about. But for me, there was a lot
Ooh,
of amazing. Hmm?
I said, ooh, I'm excited. Well, because I
Oh
thought you were
yeah.
going to say Mark Wade. So whenever you switched
No,
instead, who you
it's
got?
not. It's not Mark Wade for me. There's a lot of people, a lot of writers that I was thinking about. And there's a lot of writers that deserve to be the best writer of the year. But also, who the hell am I? So don't like it doesn't matter who I say. You're all the best writers of the year. But for me, who I came down to, I looked at my top 10 list and stuff like that. My writer of the year is Jeff Johns.
That's
Um, and it literally comes down to his Ghost Machine stuff, and that's literally it. I have two of his Ghost Machine. He's the only writer I have two of his books in my top 10. But Ghost Machine, he's not writing everything Ghost Machine, but he's writing Rook Exodus, Redcoat, and Geiger, and he's headlining Ghost Machine, and what he's doing with Ghost Machine is just unbelievable. He's pushing the future of comic books, in my opinion. But the writing in all three of those books are just absolutely stellar. Obviously, Rook Exodus and Geiger I already talked about. They're on my top 10 books of the year, so they're obviously amazing. But Redcoat, one I didn't talk about yet, is so unbelievably good. The story is just unreal. Jeff Johns is just knocking it out of the park. He also did finish up his JSA run from Dawn of DC, which I did also really enjoy. So that's another thing that you can kind of etch his name down under. So a lot of writers. I wanted to throw names, honorable mentions. Obviously, Mark Wade and Joshua Williamson. I
Joshua
think, yeah,
Williamson. I
Joshua
forget. Yeah,
Williamson was one that I was really debating with
he
Jeff Johns.
almost beat Mark Wade because he had
Yeah,
all the Energon stuff. He had
yeah.
Superman. He had Green Arrow. I thinking about it now, I might put him over Mark Wade.
Yeah, no, I mean Josh, it was for me, it was Joshua Williamson and Jeff Johns. And honestly, what the only deciding factor for me was the fact that I looked at my top 10 and there's two Jeff Johns books and no Joshua Williamson's books.
That's
And it
fair.
has nothing to
Yeah,
do with how like Joshua Williamson or anything. I absolutely adore Joshua Williamson. He's one of my favorite writers of all time. It's
yeah.
just the way I was also kind of prefacing my list and everything like that with the books had to come out this year. They had to start this year, all that kind of stuff. Strictly on the books that have released in 2024, I think I just had to etch it to Jeff Johns, but Joshua Williamson, you're right there.
I giving it some thought. Mark Wade, I'm sorry. I might have to put Joshua Williamson because I
And
didn't
Mark
even
Wade just got demoted.
he's got two on my list, Superman and Green Arrow, but I also forgot he did all the Energon, like G.I. Joe
Yeah.
stuff. G.I. Joe, Duke, Cobra Commander. I think I have to go Joshua Williamson
I mean, I
over
can't
Mark
believe
Wade.
whatsoever. Joshua Williamson is, yeah, he's my clearest day number two. Like I said, the literal strict only reason I went with Jeff Johns over him is because Jeff Johns has two books in my top 10
Yeah,
list.
that's totally fair.
But
Well, the the I was gonna say something. I forgot. Moving on. Um,
what we
best
got?
interior artist of the year.
Ooh, I think
I
we can
think
3, 2, 1. because I
I
think
think
we
we get
got the
3-2-1
same.
it. 3-2-1 Frank Miller.
Dan.
Yeah, it's Dan Mora.
Dan Mora.
It's Dan Mora.
I tried to think about it because I was like, he was definitely last year's artist of the year for me too. So I'm like, I was trying to think about it to switch it up. There's no one.
He just got better.
It's
He
just yeah,
just he just got
he
better.
gets better. Absolute Power was gorgeous.
Oh my God. His Superman art.
His Superman currently, I think it's his best. I think Sanchez or whoever's coloring that book is the perfect pair for him. It's absolutely gorgeous. And then of course everything he's done with World's Finest.
Yeah.
Dan
I
Mora,
really don't think anyone's touching Dan Mora right now. I think
he's
the only one who can is like maybe Jorge Jimenez. And
yes,
he's
but I think
he's barely on Batman right now. So it's
exactly.
like
I just think Dan Mora with the amount of with just the quality work he does is one thing. But then you throw on how much of it he's doing. Dude has a cover every week. He's working on an interiors constantly. There's never a time he's not on a book. You know what I mean?
yeah.
He's definitely he's this generation's Jim Lee,
I
Neil
stand yeah,
Adams,
I'm all for that.
all these legendary artists. They all had their time. It's Dan Mora's time.
I 100% agree. He's
Yeah,
phenomenal. That was I
but
think it was an easy pick.
yeah,
But interior artist Dan Mora. What about our favorite cover artist of the year? This
that's
one
where
was a
I
little
switched it up.
tougher.
I switched it up. It's
I
not Dan.
also
I would
did.
say it's
I
not
also
Dan Mora.
switched because Dan Mora didn't do as many covers this year as he did last year.
Agreed.
Um,
And I do
and
think, in my opinion, there was one person who I was thinking about it and I was like, I can't think of anyone who other than, and then all of a sudden it hit me and I was like, oh, 100%.
I only have one. You go ahead and say yours because I don't know. Yours might remind me
I
of
do not
someone.
want to butcher his last name, so I apologize, but I think I'm going to say it right. But regardless, like I said, I was struggling to think of who this could possibly be other than Dan Mora or my personal favorites like David Nakayama or John Tyler Christopher. But I'm looking at 2024 alone cover artist of the year, Daniel Sampierre,
Yeah,
Wonder Woman, and I'll say
that's
right,
fair.
I did not like that run whatsoever. The interiors are also fantastic, but his covers that he did for that, all the covers he did for the All In initiative, his covers for the All In one shot, his covers are just they're unbelievable. It's the only reason I continued to pick up Wonder Woman for as long as I was because I was not reading it and I was not enjoying it. But every single time they would bring a new issue out and I would look at that cover, I'm like, holy shit, I have to buy that. Daniel Sampierre, you're my cover artist of the year. What about you?
I think it's easy for me. I gotta go DNA. I
Hey,
just yeah,
respect.
and like I don't know. I couldn't think of anyone that I'd put up there
My
that I'm
thing,
picking up every single variant for. I mean, obviously Dan
hey,
Mora, Jorge, but
DNA is easily my favorite cover artist and my variant cover artist and stuff. But
ooh, wait a minute.
the way I looked at it is it's just that boy been cooking. You know what I
I
mean?
may
2023, he was on fire. 2022,
I,
he was on fire. 2021, he was on
I might
fire.
have to go Jorge now that I think about it.
Hey,
Now that I
you
really
go.
think because he
Especially all
had
the
those
Action
action
Comics.
comics. Dude, he
Yeah.
had some of the best covers of the year on Action
Yeah. Those
Comics.
Action Comics covers were sweet.
And then he did the one where he was like up against the wall with like
We didn't
Superman
give
and
this
Lois.
enough thought.
Yeah,
I'm like, wait, Bruno Redondo?
true. I don't know. I think I'm gonna set on Jorge
I'm
just because of
sticking
those.
with Daniel St. Pierre, but
That's what's up.
I mean, those Wonder Woman covers and those All In covers are just
All right.
ah.
I know you haven't watched a lot of movies this year, so we're
I
not
have
gonna do a
not.
top five. But is it doesn't have to have come out this year? But do you have a top like favorite movie you've seen this year? Like just one movie that was just your favorite that you've seen this year. Doesn't have to come
I
out.
genuinely did not watch movies for shit this year, but I mean, it's gotta be Deadpool Wolverine, right?
There you go. Yeah,
It's
that's
gotta
fair.
be, yeah.
I love Deadpool Wolverine. I watched Monkey Man this year, and I think that's probably
I
like my
haven't seen
one of
it.
my favorite movies. It's really really good. But if I had to pick one that came out this year, Deadpool Wolverine, yeah, all the way.
It's gotta be.
And then if we're going shows, I think The Penguin
Oh
is
yeah,
it's just phenomenal.
Penguin. I mean, Penguin. I think is one of the best shows. Period. Like it's one of the
Yeah,
best shows ever, in my opinion. That shit was
it's I
insane.
think every episode there was nothing felt like filler. It
Like
just felt
literally,
like
yeah, everything about it was amazing. Story flawless, acting flawless, pacing flawless, production value flawless. Everything about that shit was
the
amazing. It was
acting
perfect.
was
Yeah,
so good.
amazing.
Uh, dude, Colin Farrell and crap, what's her name? The girl who plays Sophia. I forget
I
the
don't know.
actress's
I
name.
can never remember her name
I don't
either.
know, but they both deserve Oscars for their acting performances.
100%. Couldn't agree more.
Well, for our last category of the Hall of Nerds awards, we have the MVP content creator,
Boom.
the best content creator of the year. Our personal opinions, of course. It has everyone. If you're not on here, y'all are still great. Y'all
Yeah,
are all great.
exactly. It's not, and not to say we'll even rephrase that. Not even best favorite.
It's more like our favorite
Yeah,
content
favorite or
creators.
just someone we think in 2024 has done an amazing job with their content. And we just want to kind of give them their flowers, give them their props. You want to start?
Exactly. Yeah, sure. For mine, I have my buddy and my go-to on anything Marvel. He also has his own comic book. I gotta go, Peyton, two-turn Tony Stark. We've had him on the podcast twice.
Hey,
He's a good friend of mine,
awesome
and
dude.
I just love his content. He's if you want to know anything about any characters or storylines, go check him out and go check out the Astounding All-Star. Peyton is
Yes.
the GOAT. We're also working on our own comic right now. We're about 4 issues in on the outline. But once we get the outline finished, we're gonna be starting the first issue writing
Hell
process.
yeah.
So stay tuned for that. Nate,
Hell yeah.
over to you.
So everyone go show two-turn Tony Stark on TikTok some love. Great guy, amazing content. And I definitely thought about doing him as well, but I kind of assumed that you were going to. So for me, I went with one of the homies I started watching this year, and I've met this year. I've talked to him a little bit more, or a little bit. I definitely want to talk to him more. He seems like a super cool guy, and I really enjoy making his content. He's on the smaller side, but he's starting to grow a lot, and I think he deserves every bit of that growth. It's the homie John Cofresi. I don't know if you even if I don't know if you're aware of him, but the homie John Cofresi, he makes a lot of Marvel Legends content. He makes a lot of comic book content. He goes out action figure hunting and comic book hunting. It's underscore or John JON underscore Cofresi COFRESI John Cofresi John
Heck yeah.
underscore Cofresi on TikTok. I really want to shout out him. I don't even know if he watches us or anything like that, but he makes fantastic content. I really enjoy watching his stuff, and I think if you guys don't know about him, definitely go drop him a follow, show him some love. He makes top tier, very quality nerdy content, and he seems like he seems like a really good guy, family man. Boom, there we
Nice.
go.
Heck yeah. Also, almost had the number one. Shout out, Sir Superhero. Uh, Also my go-to for Marvel knowledge because I know nothing about Marvel, so appreciate it.
There we go.
He's always commenting on my Marvel grids, like he's like, just for next grid, you can put this here, and I'm like, thank you. I didn't know that.
That's fire. That's fire. Boom. Well,
But
hell yeah. That's gonna have to do it then for the 2024, right? That's everything, right?
Yeah,
For the the 2024 Hall of Nerds awards,
yes.
rankings, lists, whatever you want to call it. Thank you guys for an amazing 2024. It was awesome. We had some awesome guests. We had some awesome episodes. A lot of cool stuff to look back on, and a lot of cool things to be thankful for. You guys are awesome. Thanks for watching us, and keep on supporting us and everything like that. We cannot appreciate you guys enough.
And there's only more coming. 2025 is going to be the year of the Hall of Nerds. We're gonna have some great guests. We're gonna do some great segments. And starting in October, we will be doing, or no, in August, we will be doing an in-person podcast once I move to Colorado. So that means the end of 2025 Hall of Nerds awards are going to be 10 times better.
Yes,
I'm talking
2025,
suits.
baby.
I'm talking trophies. We're talking in-person guests. We're going
It's gonna
all
be
out.
it's gonna be epic, y'all. 2025. We're about to change
It's
the game. And it's all thanks to you guys, though. Seriously, we appreciate you guys. Can't wait for 2025. It's going to be a great year. We hope all of you guys have an amazing year. And I hope you guys continue to chase your dreams in 2025 and get it done. But with that being said, that's going to do it for this week's episode of the Hall of Nerds podcast. First of the year.
Make sure you tune in next time for a new episode.
Nerd on.
Nerd out. Whip, whip.